As of July 7th, when someone applies for a firearms license, the background check will cover their whole life instead of just the past 5 years.
In addition, the regulations with respect to reestablishing the discretionary authorizations to travel will also, for restricted and prohibited firearms, will take effect on July 7th.
The Prime Minister announcing new gun control measures will take effect in just 2 weeks, while the federal government says it's starting consultation on more measures aimed at curbing violent gun crime.
We know that Canadian hunters and farmers and sport shooters are among the most safety-conscious firearm owners in the world. But rates of gun violence remain unacceptably high, and more must be done to protect Canadians.
30-day consultations are starting on 2 more measures. The first requires retailers to keep better records on sale of non-restricted guns, and the second requires private and commercial sellers to verify licenses before sale. But even among gun control advocates, there's skepticism. In a statement, survivors and family members of the École Polytechnique massacre say they're happy to see action, but say expanding background checks may not be enough. Existing checks have flagged issues, but authorities allowed gun purchases to proceed anyway.
Right now, for example, there are potentially rigorous procedures in place to allow the firearms officer to refuse a license to anyone who, in their opinion, is a threat to themselves or others. For whatever reason, we're seeing people reluctant to take action, and that implementation gap has proved to be a massive problem right across the country, where police did have the power to remove guns and didn't take advantage of it.
Meanwhile, legal gun owners say the Prime Minister's actions don't make sense, given that those who commit gun crimes don't buy them legally.
Well, he simply should have done his job and made Canada safer. And how you do that is you address the root causes of violence. But the Liberals want nothing to do with addressing root causes because it's hard work. It takes more than 4 years. It's not glamorous. It doesn't make for splashy headlines.
Last year, the Prime Minister used an order in council to ban a select list of assault-style firearms. But guns not on that list aren't covered. Canadian firearms retailers are still selling and advertising weapons like these. The Type 81 light machine gun modified to adhere to Canadian law.
If a law doesn't make sense and people can't sit down around a table like adults and discuss it and analyze it, then you know it has an exclusively political purpose. And all Canadians lose when a government conducts itself like that.
But Sukir says regardless of how patchwork some measures appear, there is an urgent need for action.
In Canada, we have less control over the sale of rifles and shotguns than we did in 1977. The state of New York has better regulations than we do. So there's really not a lot of time to waste.
In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.